In today's video, we're going to be talking about leading lines and paths, something that beginner photographers often get confused with. I'll explain the difference between the two. I'm also going to show you where you'll find leading lines and how to use them in your composition. And I've got a super tip on how you can create tension in your photos by using a particular style of leading line. Welcome to Nifty 50 Photographers. If you're new to this channel, I'm Richard Gill, I'm a professional photographer. And on here, I provide free photography tutorials, especially if you're a little bit older like me. Maybe you've lost a bit of hair or got some grey in it. If that sounds like you and you haven't subscribed already, please do so. You'll get lots of great tips on how to improve your photography, your composition, and get the most out of your camera. So what you're looking down now is a path that leads you into the photo. Now the main difference with a leading line is that a leading line will lead you to a subject. So if I walk up these steps here and into the frame, you'll see the two sides of the bridge, which are your leading lines, lead straight to me at the point of convergence. I'm the subject, and that's the difference between a leading line and a path. They're both great compositional techniques and things that you'll want to use in your photos. So let's go and put some of them into practice and take some photos using them. I found a nice scene here with the canal leading us into the photo in a slight curve. So I'm going to compose that. Now one of the things you want to do often with leading lines is bring them right into one of your corners. So I'm going to get the edge of the canal right into my bottom left corner, and the canal is going to sweep through the photo towards the right hand side. Now my settings, I'm going to have a long depth of field, so I've set it to f11 and 125th of a second at ISO 100. And there's my shot, and that's using the canal as a path. We found a great spot here where the light is reflecting off the canal, and it's creating some interesting sort of dappled lighting underneath the arch of the bridge. So I'm going to take a shot here, and I'm going to do this initially from the waterline, using that at the bottom of my frame. But the contrast between light and dark I'm going to bring right into the diagonal, right in my left hand corner, and it's going to go up to the right hand corner of my frame. And it's that angle that creates tension in your photos, because our eyes are used to reading from top left to bottom right. And by doing it in this bottom left to top right area, then that's so unnatural for us that it creates a feeling of uncomfortableness and tension. I'm going to do another shot too as well, because I really like the reflection of the light in the water, and I'm going to do this so it looks like a sort of arrowhead. Now I might actually make this symmetrical with the point of the arrow in the middle of my frame, the left hand side. You've seen quite a few examples now of how to use leading lines and paths in your photos. Leading lines might not always just be something like a road or a railway line. They can run vertically, horizontally, diagonally, and even in a radial pattern in your frame. Now the important point to remember is what you're doing is leading your viewer from the foreground to your subject if it's a leading line, or from the foreground to the background if it's a path, or maybe from the foreground to another area of the photo. So use them as a compositional technique to help emphasize the particular bit of the photo that you want to draw the viewer's attention to. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like. Now you can also share your photos, and why not show me some examples of how you've got on taking pictures of leading lines and paths in the Nifty 50 Photographers Facebook group, and I'll put a link to that in the description. Do make sure you come back and join us for the next video.